Traveling Riverside Blues from Led Zeppelin, of course. I recently did a video on When the Levee Breaks and had a few people ask me about this one. So yes, it is in an open G tuning, but unlike Levee, the tape, it wasn't slowed down so that it sounded lower in F. So we're in a typical open G tuning. We've got D, G, D, G, B, and D. And a bit of delay, as you can hear. So there's a couple of variations in this, you know, the way Jimmy played stuff live. I just kind of played it sort of like what you hear him do most of the time, but I'll talk about a couple of the nuances, okay? So the very first thing is we're on the first three strings, primarily, and we're dragging the slide all the way to the 12th fret. Just kind of glissando off of that. Then those same three strings open, 3rd fret, then pick it again and slide to 5, back to 3, and open. Okay, and the lick that's happening over here, I'm on the 3rd fret, on the D string or the 4th string from the bottom. Okay, and picking the two open strings, the G and the B below it. The picking configuration I like to use for that is definitely like a little bit of a cross picking pattern. Down, down, up, 2nd fret, down, down, up, open, and then 5th fret on the A string, and I skip a string for that. Like so. And then slide from 3 to 4 or hammer, whichever you like. And then hit the open D string, or G string, excuse me. So a quick little note on this one, just like Levee, Jimmy Page played this on a 12 string, which gives you a little bit of flexibility as far as the way this sounds, but a lot of people don't have a 12 string, so I'm gonna just do it on the telly here. But he can play that main riff with the 12 string by simply doing this. So feel free to do it that way if that sound suits you. It's just primarily the A, the D, the G, and the B string if you want. 2nd fret on the D string, 3rd fret on the D string, then back to the 2nd fret, and then open. And definitely catch those bottom strings in there. But if you want to capture a little bit of that 12 string action, you can pull off the octaves, because see, the D string on the 12 string, of course, gives them that octave sound. So you can get that 12 string sound simply by adding your finger to the bottom string. Open first, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, back to 2nd fret, like so. And then maybe add that A string in there to give it some chunk. So either way is fine. I kind of like to just play it like this. But it's nice to hear that octave if you enjoy that. So it's basically a 1-4-5 blues, of course, in Zeppelin's stylistic way. So when we move off of the 1 chord, which is of course the, we move to the 5th fret, and I'm playing across the first 4 strings, and I use my pinky since I'm wearing the slide on the ring finger. Very, very similar to In My Time of Dying, except you're just using the 1 string, the first string on the bottom instead of both strings. So I hit the chord first, add the pinky to the 8th fret on the first string, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then slide it over to the 7th fret and back. And then move to the 7th fret and do the same thing. And back to the 5th fret. And the tag on that, the tail end on that is so it's basically just the open D, G, and B strings, or if you're in the strumming mode while you're doing it, of course. And then I'm at the 3rd fret on the D string. And what I'm doing is downstroking the D string and then upstroking the G and the B string, just alternate picking back and forth. 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then finally open. And on the recording you'll hear, but there's a lot of little subtle variations in that. I like to add the slide to that part because I like the way it sounds. But you can do whatever you like, right? Jimmy was certainly known for moshing things up a little bit. And I'll talk about the intro in a second as well, okay? But just getting through the main bulk of the tune. This part right here, the part where you're hearing the... That's where you'll notice the most variation in that. He'll vary that slightly. Like sometimes he might play something like... that type of thing. So by all means, feel free to add your slide to that because it just sounds cool. But most of the time you just hear him doing the that type of thing. But it is fun to add that in there. So you can mix things up a little bit. It doesn't have to be written in stone. And certainly with him, nothing was written in stone. Live performances attest to that one for sure. So on the intro, he's basically doing the opening phrase, just kind of a loose ad-libbed type approach to it. But you're really sliding from 11 to 12 on the first 3 strings. Again, just keep it loose and play it your own way, unless you happen to be a stickler for playing it exactly like the recording. But again, we're sliding from 11 to 12. So I just kind of do it with downstrokes out the gate and then add the alternate strokes as he starts building momentum. he's added that turnaround. It's basically the opening lick of the song, or very similar to it, but he's added that turnaround. Again, 3 on the D string, upstroking the B and G string, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open, and then so that's hammering on from the 3rd to the 4th fret on the A string, and then hammering on from the open D string to the 2nd fret, and then open G string. You can also add, instead of just doing downstrokes out the gate, you can do a little upstroking too, which brings out the higher string. So a little extra tidbit about that intro. I've seen it played by adding this B flat note to the picture. And that's barring the B string and the G string at the 3rd fret. Or if you want, just all 3 strings. I don't hear that in the recording of Traveling Riverside Blues, but if you like that sound and you want to add it in there, go right ahead. I hear as opposed to I mean, it sounds cool. I like it, but again, I just don't hear that in the recording. So, but either way is totally fine. And anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Little Traveling Riverside Blues, another great one from Jimmy Page in an open G tuning.